Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. My name is Professor Dr. Ghulam Rasul Bhuk. Today I am going to discuss with you the common problems of the heart diseases. If we go for the statistics about the 100 infants born with congenital heart diseases, that can be called as heart defects. It could be cyanotic congenital heart diseases or acyanotic congenital heart diseases. Now today we will discuss with you the acyanotic congenital heart diseases. But if you look the advance in the medical and surgical care in the worldwide, 90% of these defects can be healed or by be treated by through the surgical intervention. So when you say the causes are the genetically, some congenital heart disease are the genetical basis, means environment factors such as the maternal diabetic mothers, she is more prone to develop babies born with the congenital heart defects. Suppose mother who is taking the alcohol, there is an increased chances of the congenital heart diseases. Other genetical causes the use of the progesterones, drugs. It also affect the heart and patient can present with the heart diseases that is called the congenital heart diseases, viral infections and other maternal teratogenic exposures are associated with the important genetic cause of the congenital heart diseases. I am not going detail to these, but we are talking about the acyanotic congenital heart disease. The number one, we can start from the defects in the septum. Now, first of all, I will tell you the classification. So classification of the acyanotic heart disease is a septal defect. This is the commonest cause of that is called as the ventricular septal defect. Second is the classification of the acyanotic, you can say atrial septal defects. And the third category of the classification of the acyanotic heart disease that is called as the atrioventricular septal defect. And fifth, that is called the right side obstructive lesions. For example, pulmonary stenosis is a form of the acyanotic heart disease. But we can say this is the first we will discuss with you the septal defect. Now second category you can say the right side obstruction lesions. The number one good example of this is called as a pulmonary valve stenosis or you can say PS. The second category you can say this is the patent duct arteriosis means PDA. Persistent PDA is also cause of the acyanotic heart diseases. And very rare consider about these, there is the where is the in the lesions in the persistent PDA, patent duct arteriosis, is a supravalvular, or you can say peripheral obstructions, or you can say the subvalvular, where is the lesion, so you can label this. And fifth category, you can see the Epstein anomalies of the tricuspid valve. But please remember, Epstein anomalies can be present with the cyanosis, but the good example of the acyanotic. And second category, number one is the right side obstructions. The most common and the good example, you can say the pulmonary stenosis. Now, the left side obstructions of the acyanotic heart diseases, you can say coarctation of the aorta is the leading cause of the newborn baby. They are present with the abnormal pulses and early in the neonates can present with the hypertension. So this is the left side lesions. I was already told you right side lesions. Now left side lesions. Number one is the coarctation of aorta. Number two, aortic stenosis. You know aortic arising from the LV. So this is the left obstructions. And third, very rare, you should not remember, but only you know the name, that is called as the mitral valve problys, is the congenital cause of the acyanotic heart disease and congenital mitral stenosis. These are the classification of the acyanotic heart diseases. Is it clear? कुछ समझ में आया? Okay. So now I'm going to the most common cause of the congenital anomalies. We will discuss only you two. Number one is the ventricular cause, means septum defect, that is called the VSD. And this is the most common form of the acyanotic heart disease is VSD. The most common is cardiac malformation. About, if you look here, the 25% of the congenital heart disease, that is called the VSD. The defect may occur any part of the septum. I was already told you septum can present the supra, valvular, infra, means in the side. So there are anatomical different types of the VSD. So you should see the where is a defect in the septum. The most common is the VSD, that is called as the membranous. Muscular is a very rare, and other form you can say the supracrustal VSD, but the commonest cause of VSD is called as the membranous type. So you should remember the classification of the VSD, even you think about the course of the VSD. This is other types. You can say what are the type of VSD. You can say small VSD, you can say large VSD. This is the depend upon the size of the septum where there is a defect. So in this classification, you can say this is the type of VSD. But if you go the anatomical type, there are 3 or 4 types of the VSD, like membranous type of the VSD, muscular type of the VSD, supracrustal VSD, and there is a pulmonary area supra and below where there is a lesion, yeah, where there is a defect. So you can say this is the classification of VSD according to the anatomical. But when you say what are the type of the VSD, means it depends upon the size of the VSD. If you look here, you will appreciate small, that is called the restrictive VSD. Means when you see the size on the echocardiography, it is about 0.5 centimeter per square, means very small VSD, and this is clinically you can differentiate, because in the small VSD, what happens in the clinical presentation of the baby, they are well baby but have a high intensity of the murmur, because there is a small, so pressure is increased, so there is the increased murmur can be present with the thrill. When there is a large, and that is called the non-restrictive VSD, this is more than greater than size is more than 1. 0.0 centimeter per square. But please remember, in this clinical pictures, patient can present with the failure to thrive, baby cannot gaining weight, and ultimately baby is put on the failure drugs and baby advised for the surgical closure. So this is the type of the VSD upon the size, upon the size of the VSD. So there are two types, small VSD and large VSD. But if you say how VSD anatomically, you can say five classes. Number one is the muscular, second is the membranous, and you can say this is the supracrystal and sometimes valvular above or below. If you look here, this is the physiology of a large ventricular septal defects. If you look here, this is the 3 number, and you will appreciate this is a defect in the patients who's present the ventricular septal, means this is the type of the membranous. So this is the defect usually common present in the acyanotic form of the heart diseases. Now, what are the clinical features of a baby who are present with the ventricular septal defect? So I was already told you they are present with size of the baby, means it depends on the size of the defect. Number two, it depends upon the pulmonary blood flow. Number two, it depends upon the pressure. If a patient with a small VSD always and always remains asymptomatic, ये बच्चा कभी भी कोई क्लिनिकल प्रेजेंटेशन के साथ नहीं आता है, when we do or if you are doing a routine examination in the ER, you will find as a pansystolic murmur and is found in the left lower sternal border. Okay, so the murmur of the VSD present, which type of the murmur is a pansystolic murmur, and what is the most intensity of the murmur, that is called the left lower sternal border. Patient with a large VSD, they are present with the clinically presentations. Patient can present with the breathlessness, that is called the dyspnea. Patient can present with the difficulty in breathing. Baby have a problem regarding the feeding. He is not able to take feed. And when you take a height and weight of these children, they are poor growth, because these baby are not gaining weight. When you do the examination of this baby, you will find as a pansystolic murmur that is found in the lower left sternal border and radiate to the nipple. This is the classical presentation of the VSD. The radiation of the murmur is the radiate to the nipple, but the pansystolic murmur radiate to the axilla. You can say this is the acquired disease that is called the rheumatic heart diseases. So patient with a large VSD, they are present with a difficulty in breathing, they are present with the feeding problems, growth failure. Now, when mother is complaining, always when you take a history of these babies who are present with the congenital heart diseases like acyanotic, mother is complaining there is a profuse perspiration when baby is feeding. मदर कंप्लेन करती है कि बच्चा जब दूध पीता है तो उसको पसीना आता है. This is a classical sign of the failure of the baby who are with the cardiac problem, and these babies are more prone to develop the chest infections. If a baby who are present in the ER with recurrent chest infections and perspirations, think about the cardiac cause of the babies. Now, what are the cardiac failure and what are the cardiac signs of the failure? There are multiple signs of the cardiac failure. Number one is the right side heart failure and the left side heart failure. So you should remember what are the right side heart failure. You can say this is a peripheral edema, liver congestion, and when you assess the baby can present with the raised JVP. So these are the sign of the right side failure. But when you see the left side, patient can present with the cyanosis and patient can present with the dyspnea, that is called the congestion of the liver. Sorry, in the lungs, means baby have a problem of the pulmonary edema. So when you say both sides are involved, you can say this is the congested cardiac failure. But suppose one-sided, you can say heart failure. Now, when you assess or examine inspection of the precardium, you will see the bulging of the precardium. Also, you can say this is the asymmetrical of the precardium. And when you see the inspection of the precardium, you will find multiple pulses and the precardium was hyperdynamic. Means if a patient is a failure, so the precardium is bulged and there are multiple pulsations visible over the precardium and the precardium was hyperdynamic. When you palpate the apex beat, please remember you should know the normal size site of the apex beat. So when you assess, this is a displacement of the apex beat to outside of the mid-clavicle line. So their mid-clavicle line and 2.5 centimeter away from the medial sternum is the size of the apex beat. But it varies from the person to person. So you should check out again and you should remember. And when you palpate the lower left sternal border, you will feel there is a thrill. Thrill is an abnormal heart sound and which is palpable with the hand. So this is called as a thrill. And when you auscultate of the precardium of this baby, you will find there is a pain systolic murmur and the maximum intensity you will audible at the lower left sternal border. Sometimes it is not necessary every patient can present with a mid-diastolic murmur at the apical region, but sometimes they are present with a mid-diastolic murmur. But when you auscultate the second heart sound increase, when there is a increase of the pulmonary hypertension, when you palpate the second heart sound or P2 is loud, means patient is developing the complication that is called the pulmonary hypertension. Now, what are the investigations after the clinical examination? First of the history, then clinical examination. Now you can go for the diagnosis, confirm for the investigations. So first of all, you can do the X-ray of the chest because it is very difficult if you will not find the murmur. If you will find as a murmur, so it is clear cause of the congenital heart disease. And the chest X-ray means you can see the vascularity, increase vascularity, and sometimes you will find as a cardiomegaly because these are the sign of the congenital heart disease with heart failure. When you do the ECG, you will find as a left ventricular hypertrophy because pressure is increased in the left atrium and there is an increase of the pressure in the left because of the shunt. How will you perform the echo and which type of the echo? Generalize, you can give the echo in the multiple modes, M mode. So you can advise echocardiography. Why? Because we can see the position and the size of the VSD. If the echo will find there is a supracrystal VSD, you should not wait for this baby for the medical treatment. Immediately you can refer and patient should be advised for the surgical intervention. Because if you not do this type of the practice in these children, what happens? Means this patient can develop the pulmonary hypertension and this is the lifetime sequelae and it will never cover with the management of the medical. So echocardiography will show the position and size of the VSD and the structures of the VSD. So when you find supracrystal VSD, there is the immediate treatment of the surgical intervention. Now, the third, fourth investigation that is called the cardiac catheterizations, and this is the important part of the babies who are perform the. And fifth category, if you think about the ventricular graphy, when there is a defect in the ventricle, so you can do for this the recent that is called the ventriculography of the baby. This is the classical X-ray of a baby who's present with the cardiac failure in the VSD. And if you look here, there's a large defect of right to left with pulmonary hypertension. And there is a cardiomegaly you will appreciate and there is a pulmonary infiltrations means pulmonary congestions there because of the heart failure. This is the x-ray of the chest in the baby who are present with the failure of the cardiac. This is the echocardiography and second will you see this is the Doppler color Doppler echocardiography. What is different between both? The echocardiography you will assess the premembranous defects and the when you do this echocardiography Doppler, you will see the flow of the blood which is cross in between the defects and you will appreciate this red blood and the blue that is called deoxidated which crossing. So this is the Doppler colored echocardiography and this is the echocardiography that is called the structures of the baby who are present with the VSD. Now, the presentation of this classical VSD, how you will manage. Please remember, first of all, you can counsel to the parents. Number one, if there is a small VSD, please remember 30 to 50% of small VSD closed spontaneously by the age of 1 to 2 years. There is a no any treatment would you like to give in these infant or the children who have a small VSD because they are always present with the asymptomatic and there is a no any need of the intervention. Parents should be reassured and counseling regarding the defects and regarding the spontaneous close of this baby. In these children, surgical is not be indicated. If you do the surgical indications of this baby or advising means patient can develop the complications. So before going the doing the procedure of the cardiac intervention prophylaxis of the infective bacterial endocarditis, dental procedure, GI problems, and UTI, urinary tract infection should be advised. So, small VSD, there's nothing treatment, reassurance of the patients, no surgical indications, but you should advise the infective endocardial prevention like दांत निकालना है, GIT में एंडोस्कोपी करनी है या कोई कैथेटर डालना है. So in these conditions you can advise for the prophylactically to prevent the bacterial endocarditis. If you are not given these prophylaxis, what happens? Baby can develop the infective bacterial endocarditis. Now, second category, that is the large VSD. And what is the treatment? What is the aim of the treatment? Number one, control the cardiac failure. So you advise the triple regime, 3D, diuretics. Number 2, digitalize. Number 3, dilators. So control the cardiac failure. You should manage the cardiac failure. Even you should advise for the oxygen, pro of the position. If a baby is a failure, you can give furosemide 1 to 4 milligram IV 6 hourly. Even you can give the stay dose and put patient on the maintenance therapy. So basically the management of large VSD to control the heart failure. Heart failure is so what is the mortality? Mortality is less than 1% of the surgery and the mortality of the arrhythmias greater than surgery is done in adult. So I think this is the last slide. What is the prognosis of ASD? Sorry for again and again interrupt due to the net problem in here. So, well tolerate children, pulmonary hypertension, atrial arrhythmias, mitral insufficiency, heart failure is the late manifestations. The prognosis of the infective bacterial endocarditis extremely rare, and the prophylaxis antibiotics not needed of the children. Results of the surgical closure and device closure are the excellent in these children. So this is the suprasinus venosus atrial septal defect. It is situated in the upper part of the atrial septum and closely related with the entry of superior vena cava. Hemodynamical disturbance, clinically picture, ECG, X-ray are similar as in the secundum ASD. Diagnosis made by echocardiography. Defect is corrected by the surgical intervention. Surgically should be closed. And what about the result? Result is the excellent. Thank you very much for your attention.